Good morning, Thursday morning. I love Thursdays. Heading to Herzliya now to meet an amazing company, and a company that I'll be featuring on the Jerusalem Post in the weekend paper, StoreDot. Meeting my boy Ido, truly an incredible company for a whole bunch of reasons. I will probably be interviewing him, so you'll hear more about that soon. Then I'm going to, how do I say this, a fruit company. May or may not be appearing on my t-shirt. Yeah, I'm going to the place where the iPhone is created in Herzliya, meeting my boy there. Not sure exactly what I'm allowed to say, so I'm going to leave him unnamed right now, leave all the information out. We'll see what I can say later or not. Then after that, meeting another amazing company in Herzliya, and then heading to Tri Ventures, one of my favorite VCs that leads all investments, or I should say it is the leader in the investments in the healthcare space in Israel. Truly an incredible, incredible firm with an incredible team. So fantastic day ahead, and then the weekend. So what could be bad? Here we go. Made it to the stunning Herzliya parking. You know you're in Herzliya early when there's parking just like available everywhere. Here's Microsoft. Lamborghini behind me over there in the car dealership, but you've seen that before. Now heading to WeWork to meet with StoreDot, a company that I am featuring this weekend in the weekend paper on the Jerusalem Post. Just wrote the article. Love the guy, love this company. It's actually a kind of crazy company because they have the most insane names backing them. More on that later, but for now, back-to-back meetings here in Herzliya, and very excited to visit Apple campus. It's been a while. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. What would you say is the most significant challenge in our digital and computerized lives? We walk around with supercomputers in our pockets. What is the biggest challenge? Battery life. StoreDot, that company right there, StoreDot, they're developing battery technology that can charge an electric car in minutes and normal batteries in seconds. Crazy cool company. Check out StoreDot.com. As I wait for my first meeting, Ido from Wisdo to arrive, I'm sitting here in Herzliya on this random street in Herzliya, and this guy comes over. So let me just tell you how things get done in this country. First of all, he's like, I know your brother. We talked together in school. Great. Fantastic. Second thing, guy's from Beit Shemesh. We're neighbors. Cool. Now we're like an hour away in Herzliya. But then here's the kicker. The guy says to me, tell me what you just said to me.
Okay, so...
What's your name, first of all?
My name is Ron Finberg.
You should take his glasses off, they can see my eyes. It's not so nice doing an interview like that. Yeah, Ron Finberg, yeah.
Okay, so I own this domain, techinisrael.com.
Which is...
I've done a lot of blogging in my life.
It's an incredible domain, by the way. For me, that's like, it's an incredible domain. techinisrael.com, wow.
So I figured, Hillel, since you are a Tech in Israel, maybe it would be something you could be...
How long have you had the domain?
About 2 years.
Oh man, what I think, you know, and I'm happy to collaborate with this, but what I think we should do is maybe make a feed. I'll take like top 20 quote unquote influencers who cover, you know, tech in Israel, like Amir Mizrach from Startup Nation Central, who writes about Israeli tech on Forbes, you know, people that cover Israeli tech on TechCrunch, and maybe make like a feed. Like people say to me all the time, how do I know what's going on in Israeli tech? I'm like, I don't know, go check TechCrunch. How about if they come to techinisrael.com and there's an updated feed all the time of all the news.
that was like an original idea I had on it, to make like a newsletter type thing.
Yeah, like an RSS feed of everything happening in Israeli tech, based on, you know, it will take it from all kinds of different sources. You know, easy to do it, like you search TechCrunch for Israel, and that's easy. But beyond that, I'll add like 20, 30 influencers, and we can work on it together.
Sounds good.
It's a really cool idea.
Okay.
We connected on Facebook, Twitter, anything?
Twitter.
We're connected? You have my email address? My email address is my Twitter at Gmail. Shoot me an email. Let's get moving on this thing, man.
Awesome.
Dude, that's super cool. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. What do you do? Tell me about your company.
So Capitec is we're regulation technology. So we graduated from fintech. Now we actually have a reg tech.
I love that. That's like the second layer of.
Yeah, it's a way to differentiate yourself when you're going to the VCs to collect money. But
Love it. How many people in the company?
So we have about 25 people. We had a Series A earlier in the last year.
You know how much money you raised? You don't
raised $4 million.
It's $4 million. Significant.
Yeah, it's public. I just
so raised $4 million. You're here in Herzliya. How many people you said?
About 25 people.
25 people in the company. What's the website?
Capitec.com. It's CAPPITECH.com.
Capitec.
Yeah,
got it.
two P's.
Very cool.
So we've regulation technology. We help European banks and brokers be able to automate different
Love it, man.
regulations.
Thank you so much for coming over. I love the fact that like I could be sitting at a cafe and we just got like a business like this is gonna lead to something.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you very, very much. Great to meet you, and I'm looking forward to it. You have my email address? Shoot me an email. Let's make it happen, man. Thanks. Bright and early meeting over some fantastic... I've never been in this cafe before, and I'm coming back because the coffee here was phenomenal. But first of all, you're somewhat of a... what's the word I'm looking for right now? Not a phenomenon, but you are a... What's that word? There's like a funny word in English that's like something that's like out of the ordinary. Anyway, will come back to me. But why am I saying that? Because you're an entrepreneur building a hyper-growth company, and you don't drink coffee.
That's true.
It's a little strange, man.
That's true.
I'm just saying it's a little strange. Just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna put that out right now.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the freaking word? You're a... Enigma. That's
Enigma.
Enigma. It's a great word, by the way. I use that word more.
I'm a
often.
mystery.
You're an enigma. Wait, why is my camera not straight? All right, so let's start from the beginning. How long do we know each other?
We met in the Microsoft Accelerator.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was how long ago?
2015. No, yeah, 2015.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's it. We only know each other 4 years.
Yeah.
That's weird. I feel like we're
I've
brothers.
known you for longer, but you haven't.
I feel like we're brothers. That's weird, man.
Yeah.
So listen.
We are.
Here's the bottom line, right? So I talk about this concept of impact all the time, right? I'm writing about it on the J Post, and it's a big word, right? But when I speak globally about Israeli tech, I always talk about there are this amount of unicorns, these are the multinationals, this is the amount of funding, this is the amount of top tier VCs. There's a lot of components to an ecosystem. To me, though, the most important one and the real sign of maturity when it comes to an ecosystem is impact technology. Companies that are trying to cure cancer, treating cancer, bringing water to Africa, doing things that are making the world a better place.
Yeah.
Right? Those things are like, is bombastic a word? Is that a word in English?
No. Yeah, I think it's a word. Yeah.
Bombastic? I never used that word in English. Well, those things are like, whoa, massive missions.
Yeah.
What about the individual? What about people going through things in life, right? Everybody, without exception, has two things in life. Every human being on planet Earth has two things: an ego and challenges. Everybody, right?
Yep.
So the ego is a different problem that maybe you'll solve in your next startup after you IPO this one. But you guys are dealing with people and they're, challenges sounds like a negative thing. I once read an article about it. Can you tell that I'm high energy right now?
Oh, yeah. I can, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had too much caffeine this morning.
Yeah.
I read an article one time about how Apple trains its employees, and they tell them there's certain words you're not allowed to use. Like, unfortunately. If I come in and I say my iPhone's broken, you as an Apple employee will never say to me, unfortunately, we can't do anything. There's certain words you can't use. Challenges is one of them. Challenges sounds negative. I don't know if that's the right word. I would call it maybe, what do you guys call it? Experiences. Everybody has transitions and experiences, and so if I am, God forbid, diagnosed with a bad illness.
No, it's much lighter than that. If you have a relationship, do you have relationships in your life?
Wait, but there's a reason I went there.
All right.
We'll bring it to relationships in a second. If I am diagnosed, God forbid, with an illness, I'll probably Google, who's the best doctor around me. I might Google what's the best treatment, but experiences of someone that's been there and has the wisdom to tell me, things that they only learn from, that's something that I can't Google, right? So I love the way you said it to me before, right? So you said Google is building the information graph, Facebook is building the social graph, Wisdo is building the wisdom graph.
Yeah. The experience.
Brilliant, brilliant, right? Because wisdom is knowledge that's learned and extracted from experiences.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything that you learn by experience.
I love it. Okay, and so I do want to. You're right. I should lighten a little bit. Forget, illnesses, anything. I'm moving an apartment, right? I don't know who the best movers are.
You're having a baby. You're trying to have a baby.
Right.
You want to get into college. You want to find your first job.
Anything in life.
Right? Yeah.
You build me basically. Let's call it. That's okay. Beat up my camera, you violent man. You build a. I don't want to sound too technical, but you help me navigate through life.
Yes.
Got it. All right, how did this all start? Talk to me.
So first of all, the mission is to help people thrive in life, and it could be related to your personal life, your health, or your career, by relying on the experience of people who've been there.
I love it.
That's it. So you come to us to learn from the lessons of others.
I love it. I love it. And at the end of the day, I'll never forget the example you gave me. You gave me an example many, many years ago, and you said, like, when someone, God forbid, is going through chemo, so they know the standard things.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you don't really know is that you should go to the dentist before you go to chemo because it affects your gums.
Yeah.
Who would know that, someone that's been there.
You'd never be able to Google that, and you document it.
100%.
But you know, when we came out to the market a year ago, we found out that it's not about the heavy duty stuff. Everyone's got, you know, life experiences that they need.
Right. Guidance.
Guidance and wisdom, you know, and the hindsight.
Yeah, 1 minute, we're just finishing up my next meeting.
Yeah.
No, it's my next meeting.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think that's what time it is right now. Yeah, it's my next meeting. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So we are helping, you know, millennials cope with depression and anxiety, cope with getting into college, getting into the workplace, navigating the relationships, overcoming heartbreak.
I want to say something, Guido. I'm going to interrupt you, because we're close enough.
Yes.
I can interrupt you, right?
Very close.
So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. No kissing, man. Keep it PG, please. There are kids watching.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Guido, right? So, you know, for obvious reasons, I can't give too much details about this. But you tell me if this is okay to say. Is it okay to say that you have a very prolific background in terms of security? Can we say that?
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything else. Is that okay to say?
Many people have it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you have an extra prolific, and which means one thing in Israel: you could have done anything. You could have done anything. You could have been the CEO of a unicorn in the cyberspace. You could have done anything. And what did you choose? You chose a company that is bringing impact to millions of people's lives by helping them transition through their life challenges.
Me and everyone associated with Wisdo and Boaz.
You know what I'm about to say right now, guys.
Yeah.
You know, I say this all the time, right? When I talk to small entrepreneurs, it's me. When I speak to great entrepreneurs, it's we.
Yeah.
You sounded super French just now. Just saying. Anyway, listen, bro. The bottom line is like this. My next meeting's here.
Yeah.
I'm a Wisdo fanboy. You know that. I've been a Wisdo fanboy since before it was cool to be a Wisdo fanboy.
Yeah.
Now everybody's a Wisdo fanboy.
That's
By the way, give me some real quick stats of how. Give me some retention numbers. Just give me some numbers
Right.
here.
So we have come out to the market a little less than a year ago. We've helped around 500,000 people. We've researched the impact of the platform, and we realized we help reduce one's perception of loneliness and isolation by 15 points. We're the first social platform to do that globally.
You call yourself a social platform, by the way?
In effect, you know, if you meet someone who's been there, yes, it's social.
You are the anti-cyberbullying. You are the place where a person can feel safe. It is the opposite of, you know, I'm Mr. Social, so don't whatever. But like on Instagram, everyone likes, you know, there's a lot of fakeness, a lot of, and if I don't have such a glorious life that the next guy does, and I see his pictures with his selfies and his this and his that, I might feel sad, right?
Yeah.
You come to Wisdo and you're surrounded by people who can help you.
You come to a self-improvement, no judgment zone. You can come in anonymously, say what's on your mind, and be matched with a person who's ready to help you and who's equipped to help you because they've been there.
I love it.
So you're not going to be judged, and quite often you see people who come in when they need help and they become helpers themselves. And that's obviously increasing their self-worth, you know.
I do want to say, though, we got to give a shout out to Boaz, your co-founder, the CEO of the company, who I love. Just a phenomenal dude. And, you know, just in one word, like Boaz's father was unfortunately very sick with cancer, and he was a very, very, very important person, both in the business world and in the cancer research world. Unfortunately, you know, like too many people, he suffered. And the family realized, despite our resources, despite our knowledge, we still don't have access to other people's experiences who went through this. And so that's how Wisdo came to be. And that's phenomenal, because you took, you know, the most painful thing possible and tried to do better for the world, which is phenomenal. And at the end of the day, you know, you get some of the reviews and messages you get from people. You told me, like, people literally write on the App Store, this was the end of the line for me. I was it, and I downloaded this app, and you saved me.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Forget the fact that you raised a boatload of money. Forget the fact that you have incredible people, like literally legends backing your company. Literally.
Yeah.
Like this isn't even like a...
Tom Alberg, Bob Nelson, Rick Klausner. Yeah.
Like Rick Klausner, the director
Wojcicki
of the National Cancer Institute of America, is your chairman. Like, these people are legends, right?
Yeah.
Forget that. You are saving lives. You are enhancing lives. You are impacting lives. And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Wisdo.com. Bro, as always, let's not wait another couple of years, though, man. We gotta hang out more.
Man.
We don't hang out nearly enough. Next time over steak, please, all right? Gotta go to my next meeting, bro.
All right.
Freaking love that guy. You know, like, there's just people that set their life mission to do good for humanity. That's Ido and Boaz. No ego, just doing good for humanity. And now, heading over to a fruit company. But first, this is like one of the several centers of innovation here, Herzliya Pituach. It's where all the hot companies sit, including one of Israel's fastest growing rocket ships, a company that I've been fortunate to know from day one at the Microsoft Accelerator, AppsFlyer. So if you look at the app ecosystem, there's several components, including app attribution, knowing where a person downloaded your app from. How did they get to you? And there's everyone else, and there's AppsFlyer. AppsFlyer is the To say that they own the market or that they are a market leader is a huge understatement. There's everybody else, there's AppsFlyer. Huge. Here they are. Only in Herzliya. Remember Jem's Beer Factory? Well, here's Jem's Herzliya. I didn't even know they were in Herzliya. Stratoscale, yet another super duper hot company in Israel. This place is just exploding with technology over here. I love this place, love Herzliya. Tri-Ventures, but I had to stop off at NFX to see the man himself, Giggy Levy. He's here from the Valley, so I had to come say hello. Zero, beautiful. Running to Tri-Ventures now, I'm already running late. You know what my birthday is? My birthday is November 13th, and I'm not hinting anything at all. I'm not hinting anything about what I might want for my birthday. There's no hint here, no hint at all. But if you want to buy me a birthday present, talk to me. I have some ideas. There's no hint. Wrapping up the day, getting ready for the weekend, and my final meeting of the day and of the week. A spontaneous meeting with, hands down, my favorite strategic investor in Israel, Giggy Levy from NFX, a world-renowned expert on building marketplaces. Just an amazing dude. So he has some downtime. Going to meet him for a couple minutes to catch up. Go look at nfx.com. Look at who Giggy's partners are. I mean, just literally an unbelievable team investing in unbelievable technology. Super pumped that I get to hang out with the guy, even for a little bit. Brilliant mind. I talked about Giggy on the way here. You'll get in the frame in a second, Giggy. But he knows what I think of him. You can close your ears if you want. Me and Giggy will go way back into all different contexts and whatever. But the bottom line is, as far as I'm concerned, the role of an investor in the life cycle of a company is well beyond the checkbook. And unfortunately, not only is it well beyond the checkbook, but in Hebrew, VC is Keren Hun Sikun. Sikun means risk. Both those roles, both being more than a checkbook and taking risk, is something that too many VCs don't understand. Giggy has that going through his veins. How's that for an introduction? All right, so come closer, come closer.
That's cool.
Okay, so Giggy Levy, so real quick, I mean, one of the top, at the time, 888, you were, a legend in the, I know I'm embarrassing you, but it doesn't matter, that's what I think. Big name in the business world. When it came to enterprise sales, I mean, there's no one who's done it better. Bottom line is, you're now a partner at NFX. What is, for the one person who might be watching who doesn't know what NFX is, what is NFX?
NFX is my iteration of venture capital together with two partners that are two of the smartest people I know, James Curry and Pete Flint in Silicon Valley. It is my attempt to take everything I learned as an angel and as a founder. I founded like 8 companies over the years, and as executive, and kind of distill that into helping companies become the best they can.
You just said so much in those 2 sentences that this is like music to my ears. I'll talk more. I know you have very little time, so I'll talk more about this later. But he was a founder, so he's been there, done that. He's not coming from some throne and saying, I'm not, kind of like the emperor in Rome, like, no, yes, no. You've been there. You know the hardships.
More than that, I was a bad founder at the beginning.
Mistakes. You learn from mistakes. This stuff is all gold. All right, fine. Listen, I really have 2 questions. First of all, I need to know the answer to this question, and this is a question that anybody knows Giggy Levy has. How the heck do you answer emails so fast? No, like, what is your trick?
No sleep.
You answer literally before I hit send. I get an answer from you. It's unbelievable.
I think it comes back to me starting one of my first companies and knowing that people don't reply. And then the next thing that happened is that, being that I'm a geek, I wrote some code that allowed me to get noticed when people are reading my emails.
Oh, that's funny.
And so I knew that people were reading them, but I knew they were not answering. And it killed me. I said, I'm this young entrepreneur. All I want is a reply.
It's the worst.
You can just reply and say no.
Right.
You can reply and say no.
Give me the respect of replying.
Just reply. I know you already read it.
Yep.
And so I decided at the time that whatever I become, no matter what, no matter how large and no matter how smart,
I love it.
I'm never gonna not reply to people.
I love that. I freaking love that.
And so that is an inherent part of what I think about communication. And then on the practicality of it, let's just say that my wife's not always happy with the amount of phone time and computer time that I have, but it's part of the trade, and I love it, and I love replying to people.
And I'll add one thing, if I may. In my experience, the fact that, like you, I try to reply to every single email as quickly as possible. There are often times where I didn't know, if I should, or if this is something important to me, and I replied, and it ended up being an incredible opportunity that I would have missed otherwise. So that's, in general, I think it's a win-win when you're responsive and communicative. That's number one. Second thing I want to ask you is, you guys have a tremendous amount of expertise and knowledge and network among the three founders, 3 partners, and just your team in general. You have a whole bunch of things you guys are experts at. But I think that the core brand of NFX is marketplace. marketplaces, right?
And networks. That's why we call it NFX, which stands for network effects.
Right, but the networks is the means by which you grow a marketplace, is it not?
Network effects are a set of types of businesses where the addition of additional users help everybody else, but then the user gets value from all the users that are there.
Right.
Part of it is networks like Facebook. Others are personal utility networks like WhatsApp. And others are marketplaces, be it eBay on one hand or Amazon as an Amazon marketplace, or asymptotic markets like Uber. And
Right.
so we've identified over the years 13 types of network effects.
Wow.
And we're kind of looking and reading and investigating them. The reason why we did it is because many years ago we made a study of where does the value in tech investing come from. What we found out is that 70% of tech value came from companies with network effects, but only 20% of business plans have network effects in them.
Incredible.
Which means that if you want to focus on something that's going to make the biggest companies, not
Impact.
just the biggest, the ones with the most impact and the ones that we love most,
Yep.
then you've got to focus on network effects companies.
it.
And this is why we focus on it.
I often talk about, and I'm sure you do as well, the chicken and egg of every startup, right? Every startup has several paradoxes built in. You need money to build product, but you need a product to get money. You need users to get value. You need value to get users. So many different paradoxes, and that's why being an entrepreneur is just statistically insane. Like you got to be. If I told you if you take this step, 98% chance you're going to die, you wouldn't take that step. But I'm telling you that there's a 98% chance your company, your startup is going to fail, and yet you're doing it. So you got to be nuts to be an entrepreneur. Part of that insanity is the intrinsic paradoxes. You guys are the anti that because this network effect is how to crack that chicken and egg.
The network effect, which clearly comes also with an understanding of how you create the chicken egg in your marketplace or in your network. But this understanding is the real thing that creates defensibility in startups and that allows you to make all the mistakes on the way and still win.
Right.
So the reality is that there's only a few defensibility ways, manners in the world. One of them is brands, but you can't start with a brand as a startup, right? You can't say I want to be Coke, right? It doesn't work like that.
Are you guys listening carefully? Because you're saying things that, like, for you are so obvious, like defensibility, brand, right? When an entrepreneur says my defensibility or my barrier is a patent, like the meeting's over. Like if you think that's defensibility, you're crazy. Execution, that's defensibility. Brand, that's defensibility. You build a brand that people care about, that you could defend. Man, I'm just
so brand is one. Another one is what we call embedding. Embedding is when you put something in a way that it can't be taken out. So if you use an Oracle database, it can't be taken out, right?
Good luck switching that out,
the switching cost is crazy, right? But how can you start that?
You're indispensable. You're indispensable.
You can't start that with startup at the beginning. You need to get trust for that.
Yep.
The third one is what we call scale. So it's great to be Walmart. You get the best prices, and then you can sell at a cheap price, and everybody's happy. But you can't start like that.
Right.
I can't start and say I want to be Walmart tomorrow, right? The fourth one that people used to say in the past is tech IP, as you said, patents. That's dead today. That's irrelevant. Well, it is in some
for acquisitions. It's
in some areas,
something,
but it's not the way you build your startup. And so the last and only inherent internet and tech defensibility for startups is network effects. And this is why we focus on it, and this is why if you're working on a startup and it doesn't have network effects, stop for a second and think how you can add it. And if you have network effects, make sure you focus on it because that is going to give you the defensibility. What defensibility does on top of everything is that it allows you to make all the mistakes that every startup does and still not lose your users.
Right.
Because the users are basically there because of the network.
Yep.
And because the power of the network, every user comes in, makes it even stronger, and so you can basically continue doing things. Think how many products did Facebook launch that didn't work?
Yep.
Right, many features.
Google too, by the way.
Yeah, but who cares? Because there's a network effect, and so you're there.
All I have to say is, I demand, if you're watching this, I demand that you go read NFX's content. These guys are becoming a content powerhouse with everything to do with startup growth, specifically the network effect, and it's gold. This is a little taste. Read their content. Thank me later. Gigi, I'm ending my week. I couldn't have ended with a better person. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it. It was like super spontaneous. I know you're super busy, but just keep doing what you're doing, and anything I could ever do in any way to help you guys, just consider it done. Thanks, Gigi. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Absolute gold. Gold. See you next week.